Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. Today's Friday, and I hope you're getting ready for a great day. I love Fridays. I don't know what it is about Fridays that I love so much, but every day is a Friday if you're listening to Joel Osteen. Anyway, today I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can overcome stress and anxiety by creating some more structure in your life. If you're a passionate, driven entrepreneur like myself, you're probably dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety or even, depression at times. These are pretty common factors for entrepreneurs. But they're also really difficult periods in your life, and they can ultimately affect you and the people around you. So I want to help you find the best ways that I've learned to deal with this, and that is by creating structure and routine in your daily life. Sometimes we need that structure in order to power us through the times that are, difficult and the times that our discipline starts to fade. And, everybody has those times that the motivation and discipline go out of their life. Trust me, when I say everyone, I mean everyone. And I've learned a long time ago that your routine, that's going to keep you moving forward towards your goals, and it'll help you to navigate through the rough times. And that's why I create daily rituals. That's prosperity pillar number 10, and it's something that I really believe in. Creating daily rituals is something that will allow you to keep a schedule, a routine, and sort of automate the things you need to be doing. This will help you to create positive habits, and if you do them consistently enough, you're going to create a habit around your daily routine, and habit is going to be there to guide you long after your motivation is gone. And that's why I really recommend these daily rituals in creating a structure, a real routine structure that you follow on a day-to-day basis. But, there is one additional secret that I've found that has really helped me dial in these daily rituals and creating these habits that help me get through, difficult or stressful times. And that is that I always put tools, resources, or, more structure that makes it easier for me to stay consistent. Because let's face it, when you are low on motivation, you're not going to stay consistent. So you need to put accountability and tools and resources in place. So I've been asked, a lot of different times about what my daily routine is and my daily rituals, and we're going to kind of go through those a little bit more next week when we cover prosperity pillar number 10. But I wanted to cover with you, a little bit more detail today about just kind of some books and mobile apps and podcasts and things that I would recommend, or things that I use in my day-to-day to build a foundation for my daily rituals. So let's kind of go through those. Here's a few of the key resources that I kind of listed out. Let's kind of start with books. Successful people, as you know, constantly read, and I like to listen to audiobooks, but I also, and I do that when I work out or when I try to unwind. But I also really recommend that you take time and you block time out to sit someplace quiet and just read. Read those physical books. It helps you to stay grounded in the present moment, and it also helps you to retain a lot more information, when you're reading a book itself. So here's just a few of the books that I would recommend, or ones that I've recently been going back to. The first one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is obviously a classic. Short of the Bible, this book has been printed and read more than any other book. It's been around, is it 80 years now? 100 million copies. You can't read it too often. It's definitely one you need to go back to over and over. Another book that I've been reading recently is The Happiness Equation by Neil Pasricha. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But this book really has opened my eyes to ways that you can hack your happiness levels and increase your levels of happiness by creating more awareness for what you can affect and what you can't. And you'd be surprised how much you can actually affect in your environment and things that that directly correlate to your happiness level. Another book that I've gone back to that I really enjoy is High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. That book is definitely a simple, effective, way to increase your productivity and your focus. The key for you is to always, always, always be working on your focus and your productivity. And so those are just some books I'm listening to right now, and those are ones I'm actually reading. I have many books that I'm listening to. But let's cover a couple of mobile apps that I think would be good for you, because let's face it, we're on our mobile apps, our mobile devices all the time. So you might as well make sure that this is a tool you're using for positive influence in your life. So here's a couple of apps that I use on my home screen, and they're also ones that are free, but they have some paid versions. The first one is the Calm Meditation app. This app is actually one that I use a lot in order to remind myself to take a minute, relax, focus, and just breathe. When I'm grinding through the long days of building a business, I have to stop sometimes, and the Calm Meditation app is a great one for that. Another thing that I've used it for pretty consistently is when I can't sleep. When you can't shut your brain off and you can't relax, I go to the sleep stories on that. It really helps you to get into that creative side of your brain and just let things go and just relax, and works for me every time. So that's the Calm Meditation app. I also recommend the Day One Journal app. The Day One Journal app is great because you can add, pics and videos and all kinds of stuff, but I always get little reminders to write down, memories, accomplishments. I keep track of sort of moods that I'm in. My partner Robert Stuberg has said a few times, if a life is worth living, it's worth recording, and I truly believe that. It helps for me sometimes to go back through my journal entries, and that's a very productive app. Also, right on my homepage, Audible. I have the Audible app because I listen to books, and like I said before, I actually recommend not just being around business, investing, and success books, but trying to find yourself doing more creative fiction books as well, because it helps to keep you relevant, and it helps to keep conversation, but it also gives your mind a little bit of a break and gets that creative side going. And so Audible's a great app to get some audiobooks you can listen to while you're working out, while you're doing your routine or whatever. The next section of things I'd like to recommend are some podcasts. Now, if you open up my podcast app on my mobile phone, you're going to find pretty big diversity of podcasts. But I like to listen to various people depending on my mood or what I need. I've learned really well that when I need to trigger more motivation, or I need to get more deep thought, or I just need a specific topic I need to learn from, that's why I have so many different types of podcasts I listen to. So let me just give you a couple of the ones that I recommend that I listen to kind of more frequently. The first one is the Gary V Audio Experience with Gary Vaynerchuk. This gives me motivation, business nuggets, a kick in the butt when I need it, but I really like the variety of settings that he has for his podcast. It's speaking events, meetings, interviews, even questions from entrepreneurs. So that's a great one. Also, the Ed Mylett Show with Ed Mylett. This podcast is definitely a consistent source of motivation and inspiration for me. It's a wide variety of topics, from athletes and speakers and health and fitness. I definitely relate to a lot of the experiences in business that Ed covers on his podcast. Another straight business podcast I really like is the Mike Dillard podcast. Mike Dillard consistently delivers interviews with the most successful business entrepreneurs and financial experts in the marketplace. And so I really like his simple format for his podcast. Another podcast is Joel Osteen. A week doesn't go by I don't pop on the inspirational, important messages that Joel and Victoria offer on their podcast. In fact, I met Joel one time at an exclusive resort I was staying at a retreat. And I can't tell you how genuine, happy, and selfless this guy is. I mean, he truly made me feel important, even though he didn't know me at all at the time. And I really enjoy his short and sweet messages. The last one I'm going to recommend is just the Brain Warrior's Way by Dr. Daniel and Tana Amen. Dr. Amen was actually interviewed by Ed Mylett just recently, but he has a very short, sweet podcast on literally the science behind your brain and how to hack and build and support your brain health, wealth, and happiness, because your brain is definitely the number one tool to contribute to those things. And so that's the other one I recommend. What I also want to do is, obviously, a little shameless plug, I recommend the Daily Mastermind mobile app. It's absolutely free. You can get it on iTunes or Google. And you got to remember, I did this literally for myself and people I know, because it's got just about everything. It definitely has more resources than anything else in the marketplace. It's got a daily rituals tracker. It's got Mastermind, the podcast, the blogs, quotes for pictures, picture quotes, meditation audios, affirmations. I've got free ebooks, audiobooks. It's even got a journal section for notes. But between the videos and dream building and gallery and everything in there, you can pretty much get any of your daily rituals handled with that mobile app. So anyway, I hope these are all resources that can help you. And if you tune in with me next week, I'm going to uncover and really dig into the learning curve I've gone through to develop the perfect routine and rituals for myself, and maybe give you some ideas for you as well. So that's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Really dig into your structure and your routine, because I think that'll help you power through times when you really need it. Anyway, this is George Wright III. This has been the Daily Mastermind. Have an amazing day.